KJ Hulk, badass. Alright, so here we have the Marvel Legends Titus Build-A-Figure wave, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 wave. I got this a couple of weeks ago from my local comic shop. He orders me the whole case. He gets them through Entertainment Earth and Diamond, whatever. Anyway, so I get to go up there and get my whole case. I don't have to hunt around and shop. So special thanks to All Star Comics here in my hometown. Alright, so Guardians of the Galaxy comes out in May. There's a lot of hype now. They released these figures a little earlier than I thought they would, but hey, I'm not complaining. We got two waves down for 2017. The Sandman wave I actually got in 2017, and now this one. Also now the Warlocks slash X-Men wave starting to come out, so I'm sure I'll be picking that up as soon as it comes in also. Anyway, so let's go. This is a kind of a quick wave rundown slash mock review. Not really anything. I'm not going to go into a lot of great details, but anyway, we'll kind of run through them. We've got the Kid Nova, Vance Astro, Angela, Darkhawk, and the 3 movie figures, Star-Lord, Drax, and Yondu. As far as ranking these figures top to bottom, the 3 movie figures are all at the bottom. I don't really think that we needed a second Star-Lord or a second Drax. The Star-Lord is a little different. The head sculpt is better on this one than the first release. He come with this Peter Quill head, and then he come with the mask version. Here's the mask version on the old Star-Lord body. It's a lot better than the previous Star-Lord. I think it looks better on this body. Here's the old head. There's a lot of differences between them. The paint's different, the size is different, the head sculpt's different. This one doesn't have a lot of paint on the side. This one has paint on the back. The old one does not. So I'm going to be having the mask version on the original movie figure. That's how I have them. That's how I have them displayed with the mask on. Anyway, Yondu's nice. He comes with an alternate head. He comes with this nice little effect for his arrow to show his power off. It's cool, but it does not really hold a shape, and it just kind of womps out. It's got a little holster here for him to go into, and it just kind of falls all over the place whenever, you know, it kind of looks stupid sometimes. He does come with an alternate head with this kind of weird grimace face, but, you know, it is what it is. It kind of looks like Michael Rooker a little bit. You know, Merle Yondu, as some people call it. But anyway, this face right here actually comes with him, his lips kind of pursed together, so it's kind of like the whistling effect. I get it, but it does kind of look a little foolish. It does have a little bit of a sculpted beard here on the face, and the coat is always sculpted back as to show the holster for the arrow coming out. So anyway, articulation on these guys is pretty standard. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. The Drax, the only difference is the pants are blue, and he has a screaming face. And yes, the greens do not match on the Drax. In case you were wondering, they do not. If you were going to try to put, and he comes with this bazooka, but the greens do not match. They are 2 totally different shades of green. So you cannot put the screaming head, which I think looks more like Batista than the first release head. But yeah, they're not going to match. The greens aren't going to match. So if you were planning on doing that, just plan differently, because it's not going to work. I'm just going to lay him down because I'm tired of farting with him. Anyway, so those 3 movies, I guess Yondu would be the best one for me out of those movie figures. Next, we'll go to Vance Astro. You know, one of those characters I always saw. I didn't read a lot of cosmic comics whenever I was younger. So I was always like, saw him. I thought he was cool, you know, Space Captain America. But, you know, actually he's a mutant. He has psionic powers, psychic abilities. And, you know, he's kind of from the future, I think. Anyway, it's on the Grim Reaper mold. I really like the paint and the blue. Mine came out clean. I didn't really have any issues with it. Next would be the Darkhawk. Good figure. I think it's just a modified Bucky Cap mold. He's kind of got some big feet. I like this. A lot of times people complain about the marbleized looking paint, but on his costume it really shimmers. I think it works well. The wings are cool. They have a good shade to them. They do not come off, which is kind of disappointing. No peg hole in the back, so I have the Play Arts Kai stand, using it to hold him up for the flight effect. Then next we got the Kid Nova, a really good figure. He's on that small Spider-Man. I like the gold. The gold on any figure that has gold in this wave, the gold came out great. He come with the little Flish guy, the other little Nova Corps member. I think he's in like 2 episodes of the comic and he got killed. And then the number one figure of the wave is, of course, the Angela. The sculpting is fantastic. The paint work is fantastic. The hair's great. This gold is everything's sculpted, raised in relief. It's not just painted on deco. Everything has a sculpt. The shoulder pads move out of the way. You know, I saw this figure and I was talking about it to some friends, and I was like, man, this is kind of like a con exclusive or something. I was like, you know, this is basically a one and done mold. What else are they going to do with this mold? Because all these boots are sculpted, all this armor on the forearms and stuff, and the upper arm, all that stuff sculpted on. And then they go and show that Toy Fair, they tease that that A-Force all women's box set that shows a lady Sif, and I'm pretty sure the Sif has these legs and maybe even this one arm on this side, as far as the lower arm with this metal sculpt on it. Anyway, a good figure, a decent range of motion. These shoulder pads are pliable and connected to the actual arm, not the upper body. So they move out of the way pretty good. This is a Dynamite figure. No real complaints about this figure at all. She could probably stand to look up, but the hair's not pliable. But for a $20 retail figure, this is fantastic. Number one figure out of the wave, of course. And as of right now, number one figure of the year, and probably the best Hasbro female figure that they've ever put out. I mean, she's pretty awesome. The Rogue's pretty good. And of course, the Magic's pretty good from the box set a few years ago. But as of right now, that's the best one. And then we got Titus back here. I didn't know anything about this figure whatsoever. I didn't know. I mean, about this character. I didn't know who it was when they announced him at Comic-Con or whatever. I was like, I don't know who the hell this guy is. Space Tiger. But again, the gold's nice. They'd use that marbleized. Some people say I've heard they mix the paint in with the plastic and it gets it that way, but this is definitely paint. This is paint. This is paint. All the gold paint. But this is got that marbleized looked in. And I thought he was going to have a rotation here, but it's just glued on. So I'm not sure if he shares parts with Space Venom. And anyway, but one thing I do like about him is the gold, the eye paint. The eye came out pretty good, and he's got this other kind of like Deadshot looking eye. The mouth does not close, but it is soft. I guess if you wanted to, you could kind of heat it up and down and kind of move it, but it does move this way, but there's no actual joint there. And one thing I really do like is all these little, on his blaster arm, these 4 holes are open, so you can stick blast effects in there and do what you want to. It makes for some good ACBA and picture taking, as rather than just him standing there with this big gun on his arm. Nothing, no detail on the costume. He doesn't have any insignia or anything like that. So anyway, alright, well, I've rambled on enough about this wave. It's been out for a couple of weeks. Like I said, pretty solid wave, but if I had to rank them from top to bottom, Drax and Star-Lord tied at the bottom, then Yondu, then Vance Astro, then Darkhawk, then Kid Nova, then Angela, and the Titus Build-A-Figure is just a bonus, so I'm not really going to include him in there. So anyway, if you see this, go out and get it out, and the official street date was yesterday, March the 1st. So people are finding it at retail. And also, I guess pseudo goes with this, is that Toys R Us exclusive Evolution of Groot, which is the basically the Groot Build-A-Figure with a new head sculpt and paint job, and then the baby Groot, and then the tiny Groot from the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Baby Groot being the Groot in the pot, and tiny Groot being the Groot that's on the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the small one. So anyway, I definitely recommend this wave. It's a solid wave. And, you know, they all come with pretty decent accessories if they come with one. But it's a nice figure. It's a nice wave. And, you know, these 4 figures right here, the 4 comic figures, and even the BAF, all new characters that we've never had before, so that's always great. Anytime you can get a wave that's got characters that you've never seen in Marvel Legends form before, I consider that wave a win. So anyway, this is great. Also, just a little side note, the Star-Lord does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece. So if you do not want to get this Star-Lord, you absolutely do not have to build the Titus Build-A-Figure. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this pseudo wave review. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And anyway, well, I'll be seeing y'all later, and I'll probably do this again whenever I get the X-Men Warlock wave. Alright, have fun.
That's crispy.